Hey, welcome to the channel, the POPthusiast. I'm Paul, and in today's video, we're going to talk about a super fast order that we just got from Hot Topic. It's hot cash actually right now, and we made this order last week, and I already received it. And these are pre-order pops, I thought. These are brand new NFL football pops that dropped on the site. They had the complete set of, I think, 7 or 8. Was able to get all of them for essentially 50% off, so they end up being about $6, $6.50 a piece. So Hot Topic's super quick with their shipping. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these. So we got 6 of them in. I love the NFL pops, especially when they do newly drafted characters and kind of highly touted rookies. So we did get some of those. Some are second-year players, but we'll check these out. But first, I want to say this video is sponsored by Mercari, the selling app. So make sure to open up an account with Mercari if you haven't already. Try it out. You're able to buy and sell pretty much anything online. They just started a Mercari local option where you can forego shipping if it's a local buyer and seller, and just go ahead and do your business that way. So they're always adding different features and different things to make it easier to buy and sell. So check out Mercari if you haven't already. I'm on there as the POPthusiast. So let's take a look at these pops we got from Hot Topic. Again, just ordered them last week and they've already arrived. Was able to use hot cash for these. The NFL pops tend to be kind of the hot items, and I have pretty much a complete NFL collection of pops. So let's take a look at these. So first up, in no particular order, we have a newly drafted player. So this is actually a wide receiver for the Broncos that just injured himself, unfortunately. I think he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks as of the news so far today. But we have JEUDY from the Broncos. So again, a highly touted, I think, first round draft pick for the Broncos, wide receiver, and he got injured, I think, in the first or second game of this season. So that's unfortunate. Some of you may have him on your fantasy teams. When he comes back, I really do think that he's going to have a great rest of this year, but it's unfortunate that he got injured. So let's take a look at these pops out of the box. So I usually keep my sports pops in the box when I display them. They're one of the few lines that I do keep in box, just because the poses are usually the same. And so, the jerseys and everything is, except for the numbers and the name, and sometimes they do a good job of capturing the player's characteristics and maybe their facial expressions, hairstyle, anything like that. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. So anyway, I just keep them in the box, and plus they tend to be more valuable, and so I do keep them in the box for that reason as well. So here he is, JEUDY. So he's kind of in a sprinting pose. As you'll see, many of these players we're going to look at in this new 2021 NFL line are in that exact same pose, especially if they're on offense like Jerry is a wide receiver. So they did add this really neat kind of turf square to the pop. So he's kind of running on turf, which is neat. So that's instead of a stand, and you cannot remove him from that turf unless you break it. But anyway, so really, really neat pop, JEUDY. I really think he's going to have a phenomenal NFL career, and we'll see what happens. But hopefully he heals up and gets back on the field soon. Next up, another wide receiver. We have STEFON Diggs. So STEFON Diggs, if you're not aware, has kind of came on the scene over the last handful of years as one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. So it makes sense that they finally have a pop of him. He was signed by the Buffalo Bills for, I believe, last year, and is on the team this year again. He's actually on one of my fantasy teams this year, and had a really great game in the second week. Prior to that, I believe he was on the Minnesota Vikings. I think I might be wrong on that. But anyway, here is STEFON Diggs. Again, same pose, same... Actually, no, it's not the same pose. So JEUDY does not have the ball. It's just kind of sprinting his route. And then STEFON Diggs does have the ball tucked in his right armpit there, and he's running. Again, he's got the turf square, and again, these helmets do not come off. Those of you that collected the first couple waves of NFL pops about 5 or 6 years ago, the helmets were removable, which was really neat. So you can remove the helmet, and you can still see the player. They had various facial differences and features, and the helmet came on and off. But that is not the case anymore, which is fine. But here is STEFON Diggs. Here we have a fairly new quarterback. I think this is his second year. We have for the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. So here he is in the classic quarterback throwing a pass or throwing the ball pose, which is the pose that Funko has adopted for quarterbacks going back a couple NFL waves. So this is the exact same pose. Looks like he's got a turf square as well, so we'll take him out. So here is Justin Herbert, very promising young quarterback for the Chargers. I think he's had some ups and downs so far this year, but definitely has a great future, I think, ahead of him. Again, the helmet doesn't come off. Not too. I mean, if this pop was not in the box and you didn't see his name on the back of the jersey, I don't know if you would know who this is, which is again one of the reasons why I keep them in the box, so you know who the player is. But anyway, here is Justin Herbert. Next, we have a defensive player for the my Cleveland team, which I'm not as ashamed of as of the last couple of years. But anyway, MYLES GARRETT. So I believe he's a defensive end. So this is a defense pose, so we'll kind of take a look at that. Funko does have some of the more known defensive players that they've made pops of in the past, like the Watts brothers, Von Miller, and some other folks. So let's take a look at MYLES out of the box. So again, very similar to the, actually all identical, it looks like, to the JEUDY pop. Also has a turf square helmet, Browns jersey. You know, nothing too flashy. We got a mustache. So there is MYLES GARRETT. Next up, we have a running back. So this is for the Oakland Raiders, Josh Jacobs. So he's the starting running back for them, going on a couple of years now, I believe. So it's cool that they got a pop of him. So again, not too many differentiating characteristics or features to this pop besides his number and his name. He's in the same pose as a couple of the other pops, with the football kind of tucked under his right arm in a running pose. So here's running back Josh Jacobs. And then last in this set, which we're missing a couple hasn't come in yet, so I'm assuming they would come in fairly quickly. We have Jamal Adams from the Seattle Seahawks. So again, a similar pose as some of the other ones, just kind of running on that turf square. I'm not as familiar with this player, but I think he's a recently drafted player, maybe last year or this year. You may know, but here he is just kind of in that same running pose. Not a lot of differentiating characteristics on this pop either. But there's Jamal Adams. And looks like 3 pops that are still on the way that we have not gotten yet from this newest NFL wave, to include Tom Brady on the Buccaneers, Tua Tagovailoa, maybe that's how that's said. I think he's the new quarterback for the Dolphins. And then Joe Burrow, the new quarterback, or the newest quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we did snag all those up. This is a really great NFL wave, and we've got some mainly newer players and some rookies. So although I think STEFON Diggs, I think, would be considered more of a veteran at this point, but it's cool that he got his props, that he has a pop now. He's been one of the best receivers in the league for a couple years at least. So there you have it, the newest NFL 2021 Funko Pop line that I just ordered last week, and did not expect these to come in so quickly, but Hot Topic was super fast, again, using Hot Cash. So hope you enjoyed this video and that you're enjoying the NFL season so far, and hopefully your team's doing well, unlike mine, but there's always a chance. So make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel, the POPthusiast, for more Funko Pop content and pop culture videos. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.